If you've been outside lately, you know it's getting colder. But if you've been inside the Von Braun Civic Center lately, you know it's pretty hot. UAH hockey team is red hot, winning 10 of its last 12 games. Coach Doug Ross and Brian Richard are here tonight. And gentlemen, thanks for being with us. Good to be here. Coach, let's talk about the gentleman over here to your left. He's kind of hobbling a little bit tonight. He's got a hurt foot. What happened to him?
Well, Brian went into the corner and his skate got stuck in a rut, and someone came in and gave him a good check, and he twisted around and fractured his leg.
And Brian, what's the latest? What have your doctors told you?
Right now, it's just a fracture and some damaged ligaments in my ankle, so I'll find out more on Thursday when I go back. And the swelling goes down.
How painful was that?
It was painful. I was just happy when I turned around to see that my leg was still pointed the right way.
Didn't want to show Tyson injury, I wouldn't think. Well, Coach, this weekend, a big two-game series against Army, and let's talk a little bit about this as we look at some of the video from the first game. You guys got to a huge 7-1 lead. They scored 2 late goals, but tell us about how you were able to get off to such a big lead.
Well, in that first period, we played pretty close with them. It was a real physical first period, a lot of hitting. A lot of hard work out there. You try to play those cadets and you try to work them out. It was going to be tough. But we got back on that finesse game in that second period. And so we got back in our game plan where we moved the puck around, skated hard, passed the puck. Things started opening up for us. We started scoring goals. And that's when things opened up in that second period. In the third period, we played it pretty much even. We got a few more goals, but the game was basically over in the second period.
Brian, when you guys get such a big lead against anybody, but especially this is against a Division I school, how much confidence does it give you for the rest of the game?
It really builds your confidence up knowing that you're ahead of a team that's a division ahead of you. But coming in against Army, they beat Fairfield 9-0, and we beat Fairfield 14-1. So I think we were fairly confident, and we're playing well right now.
Coach, then after the 7-3 win the first night, you guys again last night took on Army. A different story. You were trailing 2-1 heading into the third period, and then somebody woke the guys up because they scored 3 last period goals. Tell us about this game a little bit.
Well, to go back a little bit, we played a pretty much an even first period. We got into the second period, and oh my gosh, we got so many penalties, we didn't know what to do. There were about 3 guys that got thrown out of the game. A couple got game misconduct, one got game disqualification, Gary Simons, and he won't be playing next week on Friday. But we had to rejuggle our lines and put things back together. And as soon as we got out of that penalty box, we got squared away in that third period. We got a couple quick goals. We got back into the game, got the lead, and held on late in the third.
Brian, how big of a boost will this be for you guys as far as the rest of the season is concerned now that you've swept Army and as you try to make the playoffs?
I think this will be a big boost for the guys going into next weekend against Mankato. Coming off a weekend and beating Division I team both games, so that'll really help them out. And hopefully it'll help our standings in the polls, also move us up.
Coach, are you pretty optimistic about your chances the rest of the way as far as the rankings are concerned? Because only the top 2 teams in Division II hockey even make the playoffs.
Well, it's still going to be tough. We've got to keep winning games. We've got to get our win-loss record up there. Hopefully get it up to 15, 16 wins. I think it's going to take that much to be in first or second place in the rankings, but we got to keep winning games. That's the big thing right now. And we're playing a team next weekend, Mankato, that we swept on the road. But we're going to face a little adversity next weekend. Brian's out of lineup, and he's a big player for us. He scored a lot of points this year. Plays on the power play, doesn't penalty kill him. He's a leader out there. We're going to miss him. Plus, we got Gary Simons out the first night with the game disqualification, and Gary's a spark plug out there. He's a guy that takes the puck to the net, gets a lot of shots. Works hard, great speed out there. We're going to miss him, too. So we got some gaps in the lineup that we've got to fill in. Of course, we've got to win both those games against Mankato. Those 2 critical games that we've got to win. And if we don't win them, we're going to make things tough on ourselves. So our guys are going to work hard at practice this week. And we swept them on the road. We got a little confidence, but we got some gaps to fill. And I think our guys, got the confidence, and we'll take it from there.
And you guys swept this Mankato team on the road earlier this season in 2 games, and I'm sure you're expecting not an easy time this time around. What kind of things would you expect them to try to accomplish as they come to Huntsville?
Well, we kind of embarrassed them a little bit at home. We beat them twice. We've never been up there before, but we took them 2 on the road. And they're going to come in here a little more prepared, not taking us maybe as lightly as they did last time. We got a few guys out of the lineup, so things are going to be tough for us. We got some big-time goaltending from Derek Poop up there in Mankato. Of course, this weekend against Army, we got some big-time goaltending from him, too. He was the star of the series. So, Poop was always going to be a big factor. You know, if he's hot like he's been, we'll do well.
Coach, we wish you the best, and we'll talk to you about that huge game.